Earlier this morning, we brought you Boris Johnson, the new Prime Minister of Great Britain, and his opening statement right in front of 10 Downing Street, the official residence of the Prime Minister. He had a lot to say. I want to bring in Luke Coffey. He's with us now, Heritage Foundation foreign policy guy. Luke, talk to me about Boris, because that's what everybody calls him in England, Boris. That's all it is. It was like Maggie, as in Thatcher, Winston, as in Churchill. It's just plain Boris. Now, Boris wants to get the Brits out of the European Union by October 31st. Now, I know he faces an uphill struggle. I know he's got a problem with Parliament and the Conservative Party and Jeremy Corbyn and all the rest of them. But you tell me, is he going to get the Brits out of by October 31st? Yes or no?
Yes, he will. And Stuart, thanks for having me on. I think Boris actually thrives in this sort of environment. He thrives in this very chaotic, stressful situations, and I think he'll deliver Brexit for the British people. I think it's right and proper that the Prime Minister is someone who not only campaigned for Brexit, but also believes in it. And I don't know if you heard his speech in front of 10 Downing Street, but it was a very passionate speech that was full of energy that was just lacking from the previous Prime Minister.
Will he be able to renegotiate the exit with the Europeans? The Europeans say, no, we're not going to touch it. But he's a forceful character. He might just get him to break.
No, he is, and one of the fatal flaws in Prime Minister May's approach was her unwillingness to truly commit to a no-deal Brexit, to just walk away from the table. And I think it was made very clear today by Boris that he is more than willing to do this if the EU does not become a little more flexible or accommodating to some of the legitimate concerns that many in Britain have. I mean, my prediction is between now and October 31st, we'll see EU bureaucrats performing political gymnastics, legal gymnastics in order to find accommodations for the UK. Otherwise, the threat is real because come October 31st, the UK will be out of the European Union one way or the other.
That's fascinating. Do you think we've got a new special relationship making here? I mean, Margaret Thatcher and Ronald Reagan, they beat the Soviets and introduced prosperity. That was pretty good. Now we've got Boris Johnson and Donald Trump. Is there a possibility of a similarly productive special relationship?
I do believe so, and if you look at the rhetoric coming from both sides of the Atlantic, from those that are both close to the White House and also close to Boris Johnson, it is very clear that the two get along personally. They both have a certain level of admiration for one another, and they both share this common cause and belief in national sovereignty and controlling your own destiny. So I think these two are very natural partners on the world stage when it comes to that. And I think that going forward, we should keep an eye on this relationship and look at new ways to cooperate, whether it's a new trade deal or cooperate on big geopolitical issues like Iran. I think there's huge scope for increased U.S.-UK cooperation.
You're saying the exact opposite of the establishment media in Britain and in America. On both sides of the pond, the media, the establishment, really do not like Boris and they really do not like Trump. But you're saying the exact opposite. Luke, last word to you.
Well, that's been the case for the past 3 or 4 years, hasn't it?
Yes.
Everyone said Brexit was going to happen. It has happened. Everyone said at the time that Britain would immediately enter a recession. It left 2016 as the fastest growing economy in the G7, and it now has record levels of unemployment. Britain will thrive outside of the European Union. I have little doubt in my mind. We're talking about the world's 5th largest economy already, and Britain has this rightful place in the world. And it's great for America, too, to have a Britain that can have more of an independent foreign policy.
Just don't read the Financial Times, okay? Because they are the worst of the worst. They really are.
Quite
Luke,
right, yes.
Luke, you're a pleasure to have on the show, and I hope you can come back soon. Luke Coffey, everyone.
Yeah,
Thank you,
my
sir.
pleasure.
Good man.
Thank you.
Thank you.